This can do what the flagship can, minus a couple of things. I'm talking about the Xiaomi 14T Pro from the mid-range T series. But is it any good though? And should you buy this over the regular 14T and all the other flagship killers out there? As a Type-C, I'm deeply offended by the name. It shouldn't be 14T Pro, it should be 13AT Pro, ma.
Nobody cares, dude.
Hey, you wrote this gun? The box went on diet, so no power adapter, mid-range ma. But we do get a USB cable for charging, SIM ejector, and this matte black case. Why not clear? Why? You scared people ashamed that this is not an iPhone, is it? Okay, what? So the Xiaomi 14T Pro comes in 3 models starting at 2599 ringgit. Inside, we have the MediaTek Dimensity 9300 Plus chip that is more powerful than the one in the regular 14T, as well as 12GB of RAM. It's slightly more expensive than the Samsung Galaxy A55, but a hashtag cheap buy compared to the similarly spec'd S24 FE. Honestly, this thing runs pretty smoothly when I'm playing games, and it also stays cool when I'm shooting videos for the entire day. And of course, it also has 5G, Bluetooth 5.4, as well as NFC connectivity. The Leica camera bump is actually pretty subtle, with a sandblasted finish that is different from the ultra smooth satin one that we get everywhere else. It comes in 3 colors, and we have the Afraid to Commit Titan Blue model. I don't know, I feel like it could be bluer, but Yao Gen Z seem to like that decaf pastel look, so here you go. Compared to the 14T Basic, the 14T Pro looks a lot more grown, resinous with its sleek curves and almost unibody-like appearance. It is actually very comfortable to hold, and this glass back actually feels kind of like bare metal, the same as the aluminum alloy frame that we get here. It's very grippy, but not in a squeaky way that you get with most glossy glass backs these days, but it is quite a fingerprint magnet, as you can see. Okay, what? Mid-range, accidentally dropped like everyday Anna does, also less pain. Plus, it's got that IP68 rating, so you can totally take a dip with it and it'll be chill. Malaysia hot leh, especially when you're putera lilin. The AMOLED screen is fairly scratch and drop resistant, especially with the pre-applied screen protector, but you guys will find a way to break it anyhow. It looks very vibrant, color accurate, and most importantly, gets bright enough to be visible under broad daylight. And with that 144Hz refresh rate, it feels super responsive and is great for gaming. I really enjoyed watching HDR content like Culinary Class Wars on this for the past couple of weeks. But I personally get a pair of decent IEM or TWS earbuds to get an audio experience that matches the screen. I mean, the stereo speakers sound aight and they get pretty loud. They just have almost no bass, and the timbre is a little bit plasticky, so they don't sound super immersive when you're watching movies. You know, the explosions just don't have enough boom. You catch my drift? Can't even hear the drift. Anyways, here's a quick sound test for your reference. The battery is pretty dope though. 5000 mAh should last you a full day out, and it charges pretty fast. Now, HyperOS is not my favorite, but it's getting there. It's snappier and more minimalist and more customizable. We also get 4 years of Android updates and 5 years of security updates, which is not industry leading, but still pretty okay. And obviously, because it's a oh my god, fingerprint. And obviously, because it's a Xiaomi phone, we gotta talk about the 相机.
Hey, where's my Simulio?
I'm talking about 相机 camera, not 香气 lah, 当机. We get a Leica Vario Sumilux camera system with 3 cameras, a main wide, telephoto, and ultra wide, that gives us a total of 5 focal lengths to shoot with. The main character is of course the main camera, which has an upgraded sensor over the 14T vanilla. It has a 23mm focal length and a pretty wide aperture of f1.6. The other cameras are, well, less impressive. I mean, the ultra wide is very usable even in low light, but that telephoto with a 2.6x zoom isn't exactly gonna get you that far. Get it? It is also a little soft compared to the main camera. What I was really impressed about is how spot on the white balance is, even when we were living it up under RGB lights. The dynamic range is also pretty great for that contrasty, moody look when paired with the Leica authentic picture style. The main camera sensor also performs very well in low light and captures a good amount of detail without excessive denoising or sharpening. Pictures just look very natural and not oversaturated to hell like some other brands. By the way, none of the photos I've shown are edited. I just took them with the phone and slapped on that Leica watermark just because I can. Your iPhone got Leica, man? I'm just an average photographer on a good day, so if you want a dummy-proof phone camera, this is it. For those who want to experiment more, we get a bunch of interesting modes like director mode, movie mode, Leica portrait, and master portrait. The 14T Pro also takes pretty good video, not as good as the photos. We get 8K 30 FPS as well as 4K 60. The stabilization works pretty well when I'm moving around, but for those walking shots, I'll just use the ultra wide. We also get slow-mo at up to 960 FPS in 1080p, but honestly that's more for fun than anything else. 120 FPS is pretty usable though. Oh yeah, the front camera is also pretty good. Just the two of us, we can make it if we try. Just the two of us, you and I. Just the two of us, building castles in the sky. Just the two of us, you and I. So Xiaomi advertised 54 TOPS of AI processing power. They mostly work in the background by default like smart suggestions. Whatever else we get is pretty good, but I sort of expected more given the competition. As a summary, here are the pros, mes, and cons of this Xiaomi 14T Pro. I give this phone a #cheap buy, solid camera for pro dummies 8 out of 10. If your main concern when choosing a phone is the camera and you are a responsible adult with other priorities than splurging on a flagship, then the Xiaomi 14T Pro is actually a very good option. It would also be a bonus if you're outdoorsy and active or like to travel a lot because of that IP68 rating that makes it virtually waterproof as long as you don't bother go and scuba diving with it. In my opinion, if that base model at 2599 actually comes with 512GB of storage, or if it's priced just a couple hundred ringgit cheaper, then it would be even more competitive than its competitors. But if I'm not mistaken, Xiaomi is now the third best-selling phone brand in the world after Samsung and Apple, which is why I guess the prices have been creeping up. That is everything I have to say about the Xiaomi 14T Pro. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell to see more content like this, or follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram to see more shenanigans from the Mob House crew. Again, my name is Bang Sawan Shane, and I will see you in the next one.